Straight ahead on WBKB, Michigan State Police are searching for a fugitive.
Plus, what St. Patrick's Day means to some locals, and see how one principal got creative with Reading Month.
You're watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Tyler Cruz.
And I'm Sherry Stewart. Michigan State Police is searching for a 22-year-old man from the Lincoln area. James Dominic Gross pled guilty to criminal sexual conduct 3rd degree. He was sentenced to 66 months in prison in early March and ordered to turn himself in. Gross failed to do so and continues to evade police. He is now wanted on new felony charges. Anonymous information may be provided to MSP or Crime Stoppers.
Crime Stoppers offers a $1,000 reward for information, and you can find more details on our website. Former President Trump endorsed the COVID-19 vaccine last night. Since recent polls show that Republicans are less likely to get their shot, many have been calling on Trump to encourage vaccinations. Prior to his interview on Fox News last night, Trump had not publicly supported the vaccine, although he did receive one before leaving office.
I would recommend it to a lot of people that don't want to get it, and a lot of those people voted for me, frankly. But, you know, again, we have our freedoms, and we have to live by that, and I agree with that also. But it's a great vaccine. It's a safe vaccine.
The former president did not say when asked if he would run again in 2024. A staffing shortage at Mid-Michigan Health has some seniors in the area worried.
The hospital says their capacity to accept new patient referrals has been temporarily reduced.
We call them our visiting angels. They did John excellent care. And to hear that it could be 10 days to 2 weeks to have someone come in, to me, is unacceptable.
Peggy Dockenhouse says in the days following her husband's surgery, Mid-Michigan Health's visiting nurses were a lifesaver, but now they're on a waiting list, as is one of her close friends, also in need of home care.
They had one physical therapy appointment, and the next one was scheduled 3 weeks later. We want to know in this area what is going on with Mid-Michigan, with these services that is so much needed.
While the state of Michigan is experiencing a nursing shortage, it is expected to have a nursing surplus by the year 2030. That may be of little comfort, though, for some local seniors who say they're frustrated and need help now.
There's a few seniors up here that has nobody to check on them. And they depend on that visiting nurse. And what bothers me is when the doctors release them with the orders requiring a visiting nurse from Mid-Michigan to come in. Are they aware that it could take 10 days to 2 weeks to have them come in?
The hospital didn't give a reason for the staffing shortage, but did tell us that they are actively recruiting qualified candidates to fill open positions. They also say they continue to work closely with referral sources to ensure alternative arrangements can be made for the safety of their patients.
Alpena County approves the removal of hazardous waste from the fairgrounds. The Finance Committee voted this morning to remove the waste. Committee Chairman Bill Peterson says the waste is in the form of 55-gallon drums of paint that were dumped in the landfill and considered hazardous since they were not properly disposed.
People bring in paint and all that. They had paint as considered hazardous material, but we had to bring it in, bring a company and dispose of it.
Peterson says there is no timetable yet for the removal.
As we continue to celebrate Reading Month, WBKB's Tiffany Maddox tells us how one local school got creative to keep the kids engaged during the pandemic.
The pandemic has affected education in many ways, but the staff here at Hinks Elementary School teamed up with a special guest to celebrate Reading Month, and all they needed was a good book in the Google Meets app. While March signifies Reading Month, some schools throughout the U.S. have canceled celebration activities. Hinks Elementary School Principal Jean Kowalski says she wanted to be creative to keep the kids inspired.
This year it's a little bit different, obviously. And so just one evening I was thinking about that, and I thought if there were people in, care homes and things like that that might want to share their stories or share their lives with our kids, it would be super easy to do now.
And that's where Miss Wilma Petrick comes in.
Well, wonderful. It was a wonderful experience.
The Besser Senior Living resident read to a Hinks kindergarten class, and she definitely has the experience.
I taught kindergarten for many years, and I like to read. Kindergarten was just, as kindergartners would say, the funnest.
Kowalski agrees.
No one even had to tell us that she was a former teacher because the way she just interacted with the children.
Petrick says it was a pleasure to get back into her role and loves that March promotes the joy of reading.
Reading is your life.
Besser Senior Living says that they will continue to offer volunteers to read to students throughout the month. Reporting in Alpena, Tiffany Maddox for WBKB News.
Thanks for that, Tiffany. And the principal says they are working to arrange for additional volunteers to read more classes virtually.
It's a really nice story.
It is.
Looking for corned beef and cabbage today? Well, you're in luck, as the VFW is ready to serve. Corned beef, cabbage, and carrots was the smell coming from the VFW kitchen this afternoon. In the bar area, some early attendees were getting a jump start on enjoying some green beer. Today took on different meetings depending on who you asked. For lounge manager Paul Prevost, celebrating St. Patrick's Day is more than just a feast of St. Patrick.
It's a great way for the VFW to raise awareness in the community and try to, build that social capital with the veterans in the community and the non-veterans.
Another local resident explains why St. Patrick's Day is a day of remembrance for him.
Grandparents came from Ireland. I spent 12 years in a Catholic school. St. Patrick's Day really is. It's a fun time, but it's also very important.
There's still time left if you want to order a dinner to go or dine in. The VFW will be taking orders until 7 p.m. and again on Saturday. Details are listed on our website.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'm hungry now.
For sure. Well, there is more news ahead for you here on WBKB. Coming up, Next Level Wednesday heads down to Flint for Women's History Month.
We have some bright weather ahead, and I'll let you know how warm it's going to get over the weekend, coming up later in the newscast.
Thanks for that, Ellie. On today's Next Level Wednesday, WBKB's Stephanie Minichi honors Women's History Month by heading down to Flint to interview one woman succeeding in a male-dominated industry. Take a look.
Thank you for joining me on today's Next Level Wednesday. Today we're speaking with Judge Tabitha Marsh, who serves on the 67th District Court in Genesee County. Judge Marsh, thank you for joining us today. What influenced your decision to pursue the legal field?
So I had a consultation with my pastor and we prayed about it, and it was decided that I should go into the legal field. And so I finished community college, went on to the University of Michigan where I attended the business school in Ann Arbor, graduated from there, and then went on to law school at Michigan State University College of Law. So for me, the journey or the enlightenment as to which career choice to make probably was a little bit unique.
At any time, did you envision doing something else, like something totally different from being a judge?
I thought I was going to be a math teacher because I did, like I said, I did really well in school. I loved math, did really well. It just kind of came easy to me. So I said, I'm going to, teach math in school.
And what is the process to becoming a judge?
Once you have practiced law for 5 years, then you can put your bid in to become judge. And there's two ways to become judge. You can either be appointed by the governor because there's some type of vacancy. So a judge passed away or became disabled, or a judge retired early, that creates a vacancy, and then the governor can appoint a judge to that seat. Or
in by Sally Van Massenhove. Here's the sunrise this morning on St. Patrick's Day, shining over the remaining ice on Long Lake. Maybe there's something lucky about the orange glow over the ice. Thank you, Sally, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo such as nature shots, pics with friends, or interesting sights you see that you'd like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com.
What a gorgeous sunrise.
That is
I can't wait to
lovely.
get outside this summer.
Yeah.
Sports is coming up next, but first, Jake Vanderbrook is in with a preview. Jake, what's going on tonight?
Sports, a busy night of team districts for wrestling. We'll preview that. Plus, we'll give you the latest of what's happening in free agency. And I'll tell you this, one Detroit Lions cornerback is now heading south. More on that when WBKB News at 6 returns.
That's all we have for you this evening. Be sure to catch us back here tonight at 11 with Stephanie Manici. Have a great evening.